Okay, this is my first official tech mod. This is a home theater PC that I created last weekend. It is a computer inside an aquarium filled to the very top with mineral oil. Mineral oil is non-conductive, so what it does is it pulls the heat off of all of the components evenly, preventing hot spots, and it disperses the heat throughout the oil itself. So it takes a lot longer for the machine to heat up, and it keeps all of the components nice and evenly cooled. The other benefit that I really like about it is it's completely silent, so you can't hear the machine while it's running, which is great for a home theater system, because when you're listening to a movie you don't want to be interrupted in the quiet parts by a CPU fan or hard drive noise. So that's what I've done here. Just real briefly, the tank was about 25 bucks from Walmart. It came with air bubblers, the tank lighting, and that's about it. So we got that. All the other computer components I've had laying around. Here's the power supply right here. It's been uncased, highly modified. I stripped out a lot of the extra cabling and parts I didn't need, and then ran some of these cables out the back to facilitate plugging in and unplugging things rather than having to get back into the oil. You can see the memory is right here at the bottom of the motherboard. The motherboard is a Zotac motherboard with the it's got an Atom N330 dual core Atom processor with hyperthreading. So it's got 4 cores or 4 processors in it. It's got the NVIDIA Ion chipset. I'm not sure exactly the model. I want to say it's the 9400, but I believe it's the 9300. And right here we've got an aftermarket Best Buy fan. It was only 12 bucks. It lights up and it helps push the mineral oil around a little bit. On the motherboard we've got the wireless N card, which I'm not using. And over here I've got my Blue Caviar hard drive, 500 gig SATA hard drive, and that's completely submerged in the mineral oil right there. And that's been running great lately. Here's some more sides of the CPU, some of the modified wiring that I have. This wiring comes up, back down, and into the bottom here where everything goes to the drive. So that's a SATA drive being powered, and the data cable as well going through it. Up here on the board I've got it's got a gigabit, here we go, it's got a gigabit LAN, which is great for moving files to and from the media center or streaming HD through the network. And of course you've got all this great stuff, eSATA, SP, DIF, which I'm not using. All my audio is going over HDMI. And I'd imagine if you wanted to, you can configure this with Bluetooth and so forth. But that's about it for the hardware. All the parts I had laying around, and the rocks and stuff, I've got some bubblers in it. You can see right here that when I plug in this noisemaker, right here, this came with the aquarium. This is a little air pump, and as soon as that gets going, oh yeah, you can see in the back there, that's air bubblers going. That helps push around some of the hot oil too. It's a little noisier, if you can hear that. That's about as much noise as it gets when it's on, and I usually don't have it on. Just, it's kind of like a show thing, kind of fun. The aquarium comes with a little switch here with some blue LEDs that you can use at night for lighting up other parts of the board. It's kind of makes it look nicer, puts some ambient light in the room when you're watching a movie. That's about it for the machine. I've got right here, this USB adapter right here goes to my infrared receiver from my Windows Media Center remote. That also works flawlessly with Xbox Media Center, which is the operating system that I'm running on this. And it works really good. I'm really impressed with it. I also have a Android phone with a Xbox Media Center remote app. Once you have this thing connected to your network and you've configured your computer to take Wake on LAN packets, you can use this remote to remote wake it. So we're going to do that now. Let's go. Let's turn this guy on. There's a little bit of drive noise as the CD drive is turning on while it's booting, and that's starting to go ahead. You see right here the disk drive. This is probably the noisiest component of the whole system. So if you're not watching a DVD on it, you're not going to hear anything. If this is on, you're going to hear some disk spin and that kind of stuff. I'm going to pull this out later when I get some extra money and put it in a Blu-ray drive. But that's that. Here's the Xbox Media Center UI. Very clean. The Confluence skin. This is a little bit of a where it's running here, right in the living room. And we can see here that the remote's connected. It's seeing all of the media right now. One of the real sweet things about this is that if this is synced with my media center as it's playing and I get a phone call, down here in the bottom right corner a thumbnail of the person's picture that's calling me pops up with their name telling me that I'm receiving a call from them. If I take the phone call on my phone, finish the phone call, or if I take the phone call, it pauses the movie or the music that I was listening to. Lets me take the phone call. As soon as I hang up, it resumes wherever I left off. So in the movie or in the music, it's really a sweet feature. If you receive a text message, you get a text message. Your text message shoots across the bottom of the screen like an RSS feed, which is really quite nice, so you don't have to fumble with your phone or anything like that. If you're listening to your music loud and you don't have your phone on you, the music will pause, so it's kind of nice. You don't miss a phone call. And let's take a look at some of this. So I clicked on music. We're going to get some music going. So that's it coming through my TV. Tells you some neat little information about what's going on. You can use the volume on your phone, these up and down volumes on your phone, to control the volume of the media center, which is really quite nice as well. You can stop the music. You can advance a song. You can see the song changing down there at the bottom. Whoop. And that's that for some really neat stuff. Here you can go back and do the same thing with your movies. So if I go to movies and I pick Avatar, I can long press and hit play movie, and that cues up the movie. Increasing the volume while it's going. So that's at 1080p, and using this app I can progress to a further point in the movie instantly like that. And it's all wireless through my network. I got a little wireless N gigabit switch router on my network, and it works really well. You can also stop the movie. Goes back to the main menu. Some of the other, like I said, the benefits of heating and sound with the mineral oil PC. We'll show you some of the statistics here. If I go back here to my remote, this is the remote GUI where it actually works like an actual remote. You can see there. Go up to weather. Oh, missed it. Go back down to weather. Select. That's going to pull up weather from my area, and then you can hit back. In the main menu, if you hit info, pulls up a little information about the system. Go down here to video, and as you can see, my video, my GPU temperature is at 140 and my CPU temp is 135. That's been pretty steady for the last 2 hours, and I've been playing Blu-rays and music off of it for the last 6 or 7 hours. So I think that's about as hot as it's going to get for now, until I really start doing some crazy stuff with it. But that is that. You can browse pictures, music, programs. If you go to your programs menu, there are some there's a Gmail checker, which is kind of fun. As soon as you select that, it'll pull up and check your Gmail, show you what's little feeds of what your mail's like. And there's a lot of other things you can do on it. You can search for different music and so forth. So there's a lot of interesting plugins. Dharma 10's got a lot of plugins that you can use to make it do a lot of other things. You can switch the skin. You can switch a whole bunch of really interesting things. It's a lot of fun to customize this. And if I go to my video plugins, you can see I got there's a YouTube plugin, so you can watch YouTube videos. If you're surfing YouTube on your phone, you can send the URL to Xbox Media Center where it'll play it directly. So instead of everyone gathering around looking at your 4.5-inch phone screen, you can upload the video or stream the video directly to your Xbox Media Center on your big screen. So that's kind of a nice feature. Now once you're in the remote and you're done, you go down here where there's the power button. It's only in the landscape mode. If you're in portrait, that button doesn't exist. So right here, and you hit power, and right there it's shutting down, and you'll see right here it's gonna turn off all my lights and my fans here as soon as it's done shutting down, and there we go. That's that. So it works flawlessly with your Xbox Media Center remote or your Windows Media Center remote. You can also put a lot of back-end software on it that allows you to record live TV and so forth. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did.